What's going on, guys? It's your boy ShadyMikeGaming, and welcome to another NBA 2K23 Jumpshot fix. Today we've got Kawhi Leonard on deck. First and foremost, apologies for my absence. As of late, I've been in the process of revamping my computer setup. Everything probably looks the same behind me. All the changes are on this side of the camera, so I'll make sure I put a picture up or something like right here so that you guys can see, the changes to the setup. But yeah, just still running into some technical issues. I tried streaming last night and the computer just crashes within 2 seconds of me starting to stream. So we will figure that out and we'll get back to our regular upload schedule. But for today, we're going to knock out Kawhi Leonard. Now, I got a message on Instagram from 21 Savage asking if we could fix Kawhi Leonard's jump shot. And hey, listen, guys, don't get me wrong. I get a lot of support from the channel, but you guys have no idea how uplifting that is and how motivating it is to, get a message from literally one of the biggest international superstar rappers in the world, saying like, hey, they appreciate your jump shots. They like your work. They appreciate your input on things. So it gives me a really big boost in motivation. I really want to make sure I was able to get this one right. So with that being said, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. I haven't uploaded in a while, so that'll help me get back into that mysterious YouTube algorithm. So Kawhi Leonard, we worked on Kawhi Leonard's jump shot I did a 2K21 Kawhi Leonard jump shot. And ironically, Kawhi has not played much since that jump shot dropped. So my goal was really to use as much new footage as possible to improve, and new footage and new animations to improve the shot from the 21 shot. I do think that 2K21 shot was one of the best shots I ever made. So there are certain things, specifically dunks, that are going to be copy and paste from that video. But the whole goal here is to bring everything current, bring everything up to date. So yeah, when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, like, wow, what a talent. That's all I can really say, and I'll hit you guys with a hot take really quick. I think when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, I think he's the second closest player skill set wise to Michael Jordan that we've seen. Obviously, you've got Kobe Bryant, who's the Michael Jordan clone, but then you got Kawhi Leonard, right, who brings that mid-range mastery, brings that defensive prowess. I don't think Kawhi is as athletic as either of those two guys, and he probably doesn't bring that mental edge that those two guys bring either. But the talent, the accolades, it's all there. 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, I believe. I think he got a finals MVP in San Antonio as well. We saw when Kawhi went to Toronto how the whole culture changed, and things of that nature, and how he uplifted that team. Now Kawhi's gotten a lot of criticism, which I don't get. I've never been a fan of criticizing guys due to injury. Kawhi has shown that he loves the game. Kawhi has shown that he can lead a team and that he can change culture. Unfortunately, he's just had a tough go of it with the injuries as of late. I hope that he can get back to form with the Clippers, because that looks like a really exciting team. And if he does get back to form, a lot of the things that we're going to cover in today's video are going to be some of the things that we see from Kawhi going forward with the Clippers. So without further ado, guys, I've ranted long enough in the intro. Let's go ahead and get right into Kawhi Leonard. All right, guys, so the first thing that we're going to take a look at with Kawhi Leonard is his release. The reason being, this is the one thing from our 2K21 jump shot that has not changed. 2K did put a Kawhi Leonard, I guess, mocap release in the game. I'm not a fan of it, so I'm going to stick with the one that I've been using for the past few years. Let's take a look at some of the details. The first thing that you want to look at is the release point. Kawhi has an extremely high release point, pretty pretty much as high as you're going to get. But the one thing we want to accomplish with the release, right, is you're going to look at kind of the angle of his shooting arm. It's very high. That angle is pointed upwards, but you notice that the ball is still basically over his forehead and not necessarily behind his head or toward the center of his head. It's still out in front of his face. So we want to achieve that height while keeping the ball in front of his head, if that makes sense. Another small detail that I notice is, you notice when he brings it up, I don't want to say it's on the left side of his face, but it kind of is. Like it's closer to the left or center at a lot of points in that shot. So do keep that in mind. It's going to be pretty much right over that left eye when he, at his set point. Another small detail, we talk hand placement. Kawhi is notorious for having those huge hands, but that offhand is going to be more so towards the front. You notice it's in the front half of the basketball, and with it having that placement, that adds a little bit of a flair to Kawhi's shot when he goes to shoot. Not a thumb flick, but a little bit of a flair. He's got to get that hand out of the way when he goes to shoot. But when it comes to the form, guys, and this is Kawhi, you're not going to get a lot better than that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the base that we chose for Kawhi, and we are going to have some options here. The first detail we want to look for is the dip, right? Kawhi is going to have a nice dip there. You're going to notice that right leg in front of the left, and that dip is pretty significant. Now, when looking at the footage, the dip is there, and that's pretty perfect, but I just noticed Kawhi maybe leaning forward a little bit more in his shot. So that was one thing about this base that I didn't feel. I just felt like that was the only thing that this base doesn't capture. So now we're going to take a quick look at the 2K default base, and you're going to see it's still going to cover a lot of the bases that we're looking for. He's still going to have that right foot in front of the left. He's still going to have a dip. It's not as pronounced as the base that we chose, and that might be why I don't like it as much. But one thing you want to take a look at is just kind of that angle. You're going to notice he's going to be leaning forward a little bit more. And then at the end, he kind of does like this little bounce on his tippy toes. I mean, we have seen him do that, but I just don't know how common that is. And one thing about this base too that I realized, it's kind of variable. Like you can notice he's actually pretty straight up and down on this one, right? But then when you take a look at one of the shots I took before, you'll notice, look at those legs. On this one, you notice he's really leaning forward on that one. So that's a small slight detail. These two bases are extremely similar, and I think what this shows is how accurate our initial NBA 2K21 jump shot was. It's pretty insane that we were able to do that without a motion capture. And then of course this is the one that 2K has come up with almost 2 years later. So that, says a lot about the initial shot that we were able to come up with. Alright guys, so when we head into the menu to take a look at Kawhi Leonard's jump shot for the base, we're going with Amir Coffee. And remember, we can also use the Kawhi Leonard base as well if you prefer that one. For the upper release, we go with Kobe Bryant, blended to 49 with Christian Braun, and I prefer quick release timing, excuse me. So for the free throw, we go with Kawhi Leonard. I really like the new animation here. I think in years past we were using Aaron Gordon before they added the Kawhi mocap free throw, so I really like it. So for the dribble pull-up, guys, this was something I actually recently changed now that I've moved to next gen. I go with normal too, because Kawhi Leonard has like a slight hop in his pull-ups where he'll plant his feet and then elevate off of that foot plant. The reason I like normal 2 is because you can also get a much more athletic pull up if you hold the right trigger while you're shooting, and sometimes he does that as well. So I don't know if it's just him coming back from injury that his pull-ups are a little bit less athletic, a little bit less floaty than they were before, but we'll keep an eye on that to see how it progresses through the year. I did not change his spin jumper, and for the hop jumper, we're gonna roll with Harrison Barnes. The reason we roll with Harrison Barnes is because really on any type of pull up or step back or sidestep, anything like that, Kawhi Leonard has this backwards drift where he'll kind of drift backwards after doing a shot like this, and I felt like the Harrison Barnes step back was the one that captured that the best. As we move to the layup package, guys, we're going with default swing. I had to choose between default swing and long athletes, and I go with swing because I notice that Kawhi Leonard really attacks the rim and does his layup animation, or really his gather, closer to the rim. I notice that the long athletes package kind of glides into the rim, where Kawhi is one that'll gather, attack the rim, and then go up for the layup. For the dunk package, guys, Kawhi Leonard mainly does basically like Statue of Liberty type one-handed dunks. So I really like that one. You'll also see him do some one-handed dunks off of 2 feet. So the Scottie Pippen package is pretty unique in terms of capturing those animations. And then I'll go ahead and scroll through the rest of them for us. Now, as we move to the post game, guys, on the fade, I'm going with Pro 2. Reason being is when we see Kawhi fade to his left, you're going to see him have a very stiff fade. He's going to extend that leg to give him some space and keep it that way. Now, when he fades to the right, you are going to notice that leg kick. It's not anything crazy, but you'll notice that when he kicks that leg, that right leg, it kind of like goes off to the side. There were a couple that did that, but I really thought Pro 2 was the best to capture the fade to both the left and the right. Now, I did change his post hop shot. This was a little bit more personal preference to the Austin Rivers. I like Austin Rivers better because it captures those same details, right? It's got the leg kick going to the right, and then when you go to the left, it's got that stiff leg. I did not change Kawhi's size up. I actually really like the size up. I've said it before and I've said it again. Kawhi Leonard actually has a pretty nice handle and can sometimes bust out some pretty elaborate crossovers, and I really like what they've done here with the Kawhi Leonard signature size up. All right, guys, and that's going to do it for our Kawhi Leonard jump shot fix. Thank you so much for all the support on the channel. Be sure to hit like and subscribe on your way out. Next up on the channel, we're going to have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Davis, 2 guys who have been tearing up the league so far. Remember, members of my channel will get early access to those jump shots. Support the channel further. It's only $1, but I appreciate all of the support. But other than that, guys, it's your boy Shady. I'm signing out. Peace. Threes.